Hey guys, this is a daily tarot reading for Thursday, November 20th, 2025. I'm going to do a 3-card spread, one card for the past leading up till today, one card for the present, and one card for the future, as well as an oracle card for the overarching theme of the day. So we're going to start with the Rider-Waite Tarot. This is a gilded version of the traditional tarot deck. It has a couple of bonus extra cards, the Pixie, and kind of an unnamed card with sort of Romeo and Juliet characters. So what I do is I shuffle and I wait for one card to pop out, and there it was. So this is the High Priestess in reverse. That is in the past position. The next deck I'm going to pull from is the 88 Gemstones Tarot Deck and Guidebook. And once again, I'm going to shuffle and let one card fall out for Thursday, November 20th, 2025. This card is the present position. We are looking for one card to fall out, please. I like the randomness of allowing the deck to pick the cards for us. This is the Page of Cups upright. Some very pretty imagery there. And for the future card, we are going to pull from these craft cards, tarot deck and guidebook. As you can sort of tell, I like decks that are gilded, that have some kind of foil, whether it's gold foil or this is sort of like a rainbow foil. Yeah, I just like the sort of magic touch it brings, especially when so much of our days are not magic. This is the Page of Swords, which actually came out yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. And the Four of Wands in reverse. And they came out together, so we're going to take them kind of as one card when they come out clumped like that. And our oracle card for the day is coming from this deck, the beautiful Threads of Fate Lumen Edition Oracle deck. Beautiful deck that went out of print that I had to go hunting for on eBay. It's again beautiful, very unique imagery that was drawn by an artist and hand-drawn, I believe, and of course is gilded. So a theme for the day, we're going to ask for one oracle card, please, for Thursday, November 20th of 2025. Thursday, November 20th of 2025. One oracle card to give us an idea of the theme of the day. Please let the angels and guides and energies pick the card for us and let the deck reveal what it wants to reveal. The card that it wants to reveal for the day is Transmute. And this imagery looks like a really cool, like, beetle spreading its wings over like a leaf with kind of like a cosmic eye above it, I think. That's my interpretation. It's just, I love this artist in this deck because the imagery is so interesting. So oracle decks are not the same as tarot. They kind of have just whatever meaning you give them. Tarot cards, of course, have definite meanings despite the wide variety of imagery. So I like to pull cards from all different decks to give us not just the traditional meaning of the tarot card and whether it's upright or reversed, but also an additional layer of that artist's interpretation of that card. So the traditional Rider-Waite deck is the traditional meaning of the tarot. So the High Priestess is about um, psychic insight, intuition, um, being able to sit with the unknown, having a spiritual connection to life, and having kind of hidden knowledge in this sort of book of life she's carrying. So she's sort of the female counterpart to the Hierophant, which is sort of like the priest or the pope of the deck. But rather than having like community or a spiritual tradition surrounding her, her insight is all inside of herself. So she's often associated with like your third eye and psychic insight and kind of being a psychic yourself. So in reverse, it means in the past you had some kind of third eye blockage. Your intuition felt off, and it may have felt dark and hard to kind of intuitively interpret what was going on. So you're looking at sort of some cloudy inner vision leading up to the day of Thursday, November 20th. But on the day itself, the theme of the day happens to be transmute. Transmute means to alchemize something that was hard or difficult into something beautiful and perhaps spiritual. So in the present, we have the Page of Cups. This is somewhat a traditional depiction of what the Page of Cups normally looks like. There is normally a young man or woman. A page is the youngest of the court cards in the suit of cups, which is about emotions. They are usually standing in page attire. They look like squires, holding a cup with a fish in it coming out of it. So that is what's happening here. There's some additional layers where the ground she is on looks like the ocean to me. Her background is stars. It's black. It's the universe, and she has these two trees on either side of her, almost like the pillars in the traditional high priestess card. So there are some sort of I view this particular Page of Cups in this particular spread as almost like a continuation of the High Priestess into this Page of Cups, where the way that you transmute that blockage of inner sight and that blockage of the third eye into something spiritual and beautiful, the way to grow this leaf, this network, spread your wings, and unblock this third eye vision is to express yourself. The Page of Cups is about expressing your emotions. It's about the beginnings of an emotional offering. It's about the beginnings of love. This particular card is kind of emphasizing the sort of magical burst of flow coming out of this cup, which makes me think of kind of like when you're an artist in flow, or when you're an athlete in flow, or when you're just like in divine flow. This sort of expression just like pours out of you. And this could be related to the throat chakra. She's holding it quite close to her throat there. It almost looks like this is coming from her mouth, like she could be singing or talking or expressing herself. And she's also holding it over her heart space. So this is like a heartfelt, emotional message. She's sort of in like an open, like kind of meditative sitting posture on this ocean with these crystals. So all of this to me is like a not just a heartfelt emotional offering, but quite a spiritual one as well. That's sort of not just unblocking the heart space, but unblocking spiritual gifts and this unblocking of this third eye that was kind of closed off in the past for whatever reason. There's this blockage that needs to be transmuted today through some sort of speaking, writing, art project that like puts you in touch with the ocean is usually like your inner emotional landscape. And the stars to me are like sort of your connection to the whole universe, to God as the universe, to cosmic flow. And then again, these trees are sort of like these natural forms of like spiritual pillars of like even like a temple. So it's sort of like she is the temple, she is the sanctuary, she's making something spiritual and beautiful from a place that's all internal, all from her emotional space, kind of breaking through what was once felt blocked or clouded. And that is kind of the transmutation of today that we're sort of the theme we're talking about, this psychic third eye cosmic connection. I mean, that is how your sight and your intuition is connected to the universe, is through your third eye. And also the kind of almost like the energy source for all of that is the heart space. So the two are connected. You can't have clear vision without having something come from the heart, and you can't have um, something that's sort of universally loving without also like funneling it through the wisdom of the third eye. So you're kind of looking at a combination of throat chakra, heart chakra, the third eye, and even the colors are kind of a bluish, purplish, pinkish in this, which are all the colors of those three chakras I was just mentioning. Now, in the future, speaking of pink, I chose a pink deck. Pink and green are kind of the colors of the heart chakra. I've even heard that green is more like personal heart chakra, and pink is sort of this other chakra that's more like universal love. You feel free to, agree with that or not. But what I'm kind of seeing is in the future, the Page of Swords is messages, communication. Sometimes can be harsh, sometimes can be immature. This came up a few days ago, and I'm kind of getting a similar read off of it, where the messages that are sort of flying free from you, they're not, they're not immature. I don't feel in the sense of um, like lacking emotional maturity. I think they're more like something new that you haven't expressed before. And this is giving, birds are usually signifying freedom. So this is sort of like giving a sense of freedom, even a kind of cosmic spiritual authority. Like you're almost like speaking on an emotional or spiritual truth or expressing it in some way, whether it's through a painting or through writing or through speaking. There's some communication that you are creating today that is transmuting this blockage into this freedom. Now, the Four of Wands is usually about kind of being like what I'm getting. The traditional card shows two people standing in front of a castle and a home, and the wands are like pillars. So we do, instead of I would almost expect to see more pillar imagery given the traditional Four of Wands, but we actually don't see that in this card. We're seeing, again, these kind of blocked uh, blocked gates almost, but the card is reversed. So this is like a non-traditional depiction of the Four of Wands, where I'm seeing a blockage and I'm seeing the whole thing reversed. So I'm getting like kind of a reinforced meaning off of this, where again, speaking this truth, speaking this kind of emotional, heartfelt expression, this perhaps artistic creation is kind of unblocking. Again, we see kind of cosmic imagery of what used to be maybe a third eye or spiritual feeling blockage. So everything to me is pointing to, in order to transmute a potential psychic spiritual blockage that you may have been having leading up to this day, to kind of reinvigorate that third eye and unblock your heart and your throat and your third eye chakra. There is the suggestion for a kind of Page of Cups creation, communication, or offering. I hope this helped you guys. I will see you tomorrow for another reading.